With Kafka, what do you feel Kafka is used for? So far, have you heard anything about Kafka?
It acts like a messaging broker or messaging queue.
Yeah, correct. Messaging broker. Yeah, that's correct. Broker or queue. So yeah, basically, um, the requirement of Kafka, which is helpful in our projects, is when you uh, take any example of retrieving, um, for suppose retrieving the uh, retrieving a data continuously, okay, which is and publishing the data. So if you want to perform two tasks, and if you want to give the whole task to one specific service, one particular API, that will be huge, and also that will be causing you a performance problem. Like, for example, how can I quote it? Mm, yeah, let's assume we are retrieving the list of employees. Okay, as part of our project architecture, which we have seen previously, um, so you you are clear that when your UI is calling backend, and backend is trying to retrieve the data from the database. Okay, so every time whenever UI is calling the data, you might be requesting database, right? So if you want to pull a list of employees, and by the time the database might be unavailable, or database is kind of facing problems, so if anything happening, so you have to, I mean, your API has to wait for the database to give the results. And if suppose if you have some messaging queue like this, and wherein they're trying to have the latest data with them, and if you are trying to consume them from the APIs, so that will be easier job for you, performance based, if you try to retrieve those information from the messaging queue instead of calling database. But what your Java program has to do in those scenario, like, one service from your backend will try to retrieve the data from retrieve the data from database, and publish it to some, like Kafka in this case. And then, as a consumer from the other service of your backend application, you will try to retrieve that data from the queue instead of retrieving it directly from the database. So you might feel that this is not necessary. We can directly call the database. Yes, that's true if it is a small scale applications, or if you are doing some simple operations. But assume that if you are dealing with huge amount of data, like, in our case, live streaming, or some um, real time based applications. Suppose if you are watching a cricket score somewhere, and you're trying to retrieve the data every time from the server, is going to be a huge task for the API to get the data and publish it to you. So instead of that, if you are continuously publishing the data from a Kafka based message queue kind of thing, so you will be directly publish, your API will not be working much. Instead of that job, whatever your API will be doing, so will be delivered to Kafka, so delegated to Kafka. So the Kafka will be doing the information, maintenance on its own, which is retrieved or produced by someone, and the same data will be consumed by someone. So it's a kind of acting as a queue for you, for all your requests, so that you will be um, updating your information onto the screens in real time. Okay, so to show you that scenario, so with respect to Kafka installation, let me share you a link. So this link will be helpful for you. Okay, so let me open this link and try to help you understand what it is doing. So Apache Kafka Quick Start. Okay, this link, when you go through, you will have a link. You will have a download link here. Okay, click on to that and click on this tgz .zip file. So then you will get a file downloaded to your local repository. Okay, so that is about Kafka installation. So let me go to. So I have already downloaded it in my local here. So and then so I have this tar file here. Then you have to go to this command. Okay, cd sorry, you have to execute this command. Okay, when you execute this command in your command prompt like this, so once you download, you will be getting this folder here, right? Then you have to hit cmd here, so that command prompt will be opening, pointing to this path. Then you have to copy this command from here, paste it. Okay, when you execute this, so you will be getting a folder with unzipped Kafka folder. Okay, so once you get the Kafka unzipped folder, I have to execute further more commands. So to use that, what I did is I have cut this folder from here and pasted it in the other folder. Why? Because so when I'm using the long paths to execute those commands, we're getting error like long path error, something like that. So the Kafka is when you are executing the commands after a long path, somehow Windows is trying to face some problem there. So to avoid that, I'm trying to put those Kafka installation in a short folder path. Okay, so that is why I copied this Kafka in this folder and then trying to execute it from here. Okay, so now what we have to do is, once you unzip and put it in the shorter path somewhere in your device, you have to open command prompt from here. Okay, I'm just closing the previous command prompt after unzipping, opening this command prompt here. So this is all the process that I'm showing you how Kafka is going to work. Okay, so then how you have to use it from the programming side, that's a later part. We'll try to learn it slowly. uh, depending on the interview based or depending on the real time work based. Okay. Yeah. So as part of next step, I'll give you a few commands. Okay. About Kafka, which I'm trying to update it here. Hope you will be able to see my screen. You are able to see my screen now with the steps of
Yeah, yes, Kalni.
installation. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Then I'll try to give you some screenshots. The basic block diagram will be like this. Okay. There will be a producer and Kafka broker and consumer. Okay. And another important block diagram you have to aware is I think this should be enough instead of this. Okay. So we will be having a Kafka cluster. Okay. And cluster having several topics in it. Okay. And each topic will have partitions. That's a hierarchy. So these are all the terminologies you have to remember. So when you go with Kafka stuff, first you will have okay, Kafka cluster as part of this one. Okay, Kafka cluster will be having. Let me see 1 second, please. Yeah. So Kafka cluster will be having a group of Kafka brokers. Okay. And each broker will have a group of topics. And each topic will have a group of partitions. Okay, this is the hierarchy of Kafka. So if you see here, that is what it represents in the below block diagram. And there will be a specific one which I have already given. So when you are dealing with the specific topic, so then producer will be interacting with that particular topic of a Kafka broker and giving you response to the consumer. Okay. And all these Kafka brokers in the cluster will be maintained by a Zookeeper. Zookeeper will be managing the Kafka brokers inside the Kafka cluster. Okay. So these terminologies are more than enough for you to understand what Kafka will be doing. And now I'll show you what we can do with Kafka here. Okay. So as part of the below steps, okay, I'm just copying this command here. So just to explain you what is this command is doing. So from, let me copy paste in the here. Okay. So what this command is doing, so before I'm copying this, it's in which folder? Can anyone explain? Right now, a command prompt pointing to which folder?
For the bin windows.
No, no. I have not copied any bin windows so far. So right now, the command prompt is pointing to C Kalyan Kafka 2.13370. Okay. So that is what the folder to which our command prompt is pointing to now. Okay. This path, right?
Actually, I can see only your training notes, Kalyan.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, sorry. Let me present my screen. Yeah, I think you might not be able to got this other one, right? Sorry for that, yeah. Let me re-present it. No, it should be good. Um, yeah, what did I do is previously, so once I download this one, right, just a quick recap. So once I download this software Kafka zip file, so what I have to do is I have to hit CMD from here. Okay. So when you hit CMD, so you will it will be opening a command prompt. So hope now you can see my screen, right? Kiran, Datta.
Yeah, yeah, I can see the screen.
Okay. Yeah. Now the command prompt which is opened is pointing to that folder from where you hit the CMD. Okay. So you are hitting CMD from C Kalyan Training SWAT software, right? So that's why the folder path now it is showing here the same. Okay. So after you did this, then you have to execute a command to unzip this folder from here. Okay. For that, I'm getting a command from the link which I've given, this command. Okay. Tar command. Let me put that command as well here so that it will be easy for you. Okay. Once you hit this command here, what happens is it will unzip the folder. Now you got the additional folder, right? So which is unzipped by Kafka. Sorry, which is unzipped folder. Normal zipping technology. Nothing more, nothing special here. Okay. So now you can see what is there in this folder, right? So just to avoid long path errors from the command prompt, I'm trying to cut this folder from here and put it in the shorter folder path. Okay, directly after Kalyan folder, I'm copying this Kafka folder here. So once I copy this, what I'm doing is I'm closing previous command prompt which is open and trying to open command prompt from here. So this is a root folder from where all the Kafka executions will be happening from now on. Okay. So to execute the uh, commands, so let me first, Zookeeper is important thing. What is Zookeeper? As part of my explanation, can anyone explain? Zookeeper, sorry. Um, Kiran, Ardata, do you understand what is zookeeper?
Oh, yes, Kalyan.
What is that?
So it's like names, configuration of the customers or application.
No, no, no. So you see this block diagram, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Kiran, do you know anything about zookeeper? We'll cover that after.
I mean, the part of the Kafka cluster is called a zookeeper, like
Yeah.
the whole topic and the Kafka cluster.
No, no. So it's like this, okay? Um, Kafka cluster. So this hierarchy, you're clear, right? So Kafka cluster will be having Kafka brokers, and each broker will be having list of topics, and each topic will be having partitions. Okay, so that is what will be explaining you from both of these block diagram. Broker will be having topics, and there will be list of brokers inside Kafka cluster, and there will be partitions inside the topics. Okay, but what Zookeeper will be doing is it's managing all the Kafka brokers which are there inside the Kafka cluster. Okay, Zookeeper will be managing the brokers, Kafka brokers. Sorry, Zookeeper. Okay, so that is what we are going to start now. Okay, so that our Kafka environment is enabled with the Zookeeper. So it is ready to enable, it's ready to view the brokers and manage the requests that are coming to the Kafka queue. So let me copy this command and explain you what this Zookeeper. So what is this command is doing now? Okay, right now we are in Kalyan Kafka 2.137, right? So let me put them side by side. Okay. So right now the path is C Kalyan Kafka 2.1. So that is where we are so far. Once I copy this command and execute this command, what happens is after Kafka 2.13, 3.7.0, we have bin folder here, right? So now our command has to go into bin folder, and then it is showing Windows path. So it will also go to Windows, and then Zookeeper server start bat. So this is a batch file of Windows. Okay. So let me see where is this Zookeeper. You see here, Zookeeper server start. Okay, this batch file is available here. So once you execute this command, what happens is this Zookeeper server start command will be executing. Okay, with by taking the properties from here. Okay, config Zookeeper properties. So config is from where again? So you have to go back to the source folder, which is Kafka 2.137, then config, then you should be having Zookeeper properties file here. Okay, so this command will be executing by taking this properties, reading these properties, and with the batch file here. So that is what this command is doing. So once I execute this, it has to start the Zookeeper. Okay, so which indicates with the this indicates that Zookeeper is being started without any errors. Okay, no errors, right? All info messages, and yeah. So now what I'm doing is I'm trying to minimize this so that your local mission is running the Zookeeper now. Let's go to the next step. Same again. taking the folder. So far clear about starting Zookeeper? Kiran, Datta?
Yeah, yes, Kalyan.
Any doubts on this? You can let me know, no issue.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Next, I'm going to this folder again. Um, Going back to the source folder and then trying to open the command prompt again. Okay. So just put this command prompt also aside, copying this folder. Okay. This path. So command which we are executing. So again, we are going to bin Windows Kafka server started Kafka server start back. Okay, after we start the Zookeeper, now we are starting the Kafka server. So which is again in the bin folder, Windows Kafka server start. Mm, Kafka server start. You see these commands, batch files here. So this batch file will be executing with same server.properties file by reading the server.properties file from the config folder. Config folder have server.properties file here. So it will be executing this. Okay, once I execute this command, so Kafka server will be starting. Okay, it's also started without any errors. Let me go to the next step which I have given. So creating a topic to store your events. Okay, so let me take this command and explain you what this command is doing again. Let me go back to the folder and open the command prompt again from here. So what this command will be doing, can anyone explain?
We create a topic.
Yeah, it will be creating a topic by going to this bin folder again, Windows. There is a Kafka topics batch file. Okay, Kafka topics, right? St. You see here, there is a batch file here. So then hyphen create topic name, topic command, and then topic name. Topic hyphen example is the topic name. And Bootstrap server is something which is running. We wanted to give the port number which is related to 9092. Let me search 9092 in our. Mm, we can see, right? Okay. Mm, 9092 should be zookeepers or Kafka brokers. Move, find, close. I think there should be a command. It's okay. Yeah. I think this is Kafka server's port number on which it which is running. Kafka server is running. So we are trying to start create a topic inside this Kafka server. Okay. So once I execute this, so it has to, okay. It says that topic example already exists. Okay. I'm trying to give another name, which is example two, something like that. Okay, it's created topic example two now. Okay. Once we created this topic, so where are we now with respect to Kafka hierarchy? So we started a Kafka server and we created a topic. Okay. Now let me start a producer and give some message to Kafka using this architecture. Okay. Now we're trying to push a message from Kafka producer to Kafka topic. And then from the other side, we will try to monitor from the consumer what Kafka topic is published with. Okay. So we will put them side by side. Uh, okay. Kafka topic is started. So from the commands list which I have given again, now we are trying to write some commands to the example two now. Okay. This we can leave it as local host. Okay. So now you see here the batch file which we are executing is Kafka console producer.batch file. Okay. What I'm doing is from the other window, I'll try to open another command prompt and just make sure I'm connecting to the consumer here. Okay. The command from consumer is this one. I'm executing on the right side. So right side one is a consumer now, and the left side one is a producer. Oh, sorry. So it's a previous topic. Let me open consumer of topic example two. Okay. Right now, topic example two should have nothing. Okay. That's why it's not showing anything on the right side. So let me enter some text in the left side and enter, click enter. I have entered SWATs and hitting enter. So you see here, the right side consumer is printed with SWATs. And let me enter some other text now in the left side. which is USA, and right side is updated with USA. So let me pass some stuff called H1B to the Kafka and hit enter, and it is updated right side with H1B. So write that in real time you will be getting the data which is entered in the producer through producer to Kafka, and Kafka is updating readily to the consumer. So such way you can assume this case for any of your real time scenario, like live streaming or cricket scores that we are getting, or any live data that you are getting. So they will be streaming them using Kafka. Okay, so that in real time whatever data that is produced to Kafka cluster will be readily available for the Kafka consumer, so that there won't be any delay in the time if anyone is publishing any data to Kafka and with the consumers. Okay, so this is main use that you will be getting from Kafka. So there will be some syntactical things which you need to learn to use this Kafka in your programming language. So that those are also like some template based code. You need not to worry much about this part of code. So once you write it, you will be getting with hands on slowly later on. Okay. So far, are you clear with this? Okay.